The best ways to gather zero-party data are the places where we're going to see the highest engagement. So I don't have anything groundbreaking to share on that front, but really the pop-up, a quiz, a post-purchase survey, all of those areas where we really see high engagement are going to be the best places to gather that data because we're going to get the most information. And, it's a lot easier for us to implement strategies around that zero-party data when we have, more people that are going to respond and provide information. I think brands can use their pop-up unit to grab meaningful insights around their customers by asking questions. When we're sending someone to a pop-up unit, they are high intent and there's usually an incentive involved. And so that is a great time to the customer to give us some kind of information in exchange for the fact that they're going to get a discount. Ask for email first, ask them to then answer a question or vice versa, something worth A/B testing. We'll use a welcome series to gain insights on customers in a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's just A/B testing. So A/B testing what kind of content we're putting first, what products we're pushing to see if we're able to learn something about the customers based on their engagement there. Email, I think, can be a bit more challenging, but I think that there are some great opportunities there, especially if you're asking a question and can gather that data just by looking at, link tracking of where someone clicked in the email. I think that the welcome and abandonment flows tend to benefit the most from zero-party data. When we are thinking about a welcome series, this is one of their first touches with the brand. And if we have that, initial information about the product category that they're interested in shopping for or the health benefit that they're looking to get from the product, we're really able to tailor content. We use zero-party data in segmentation really as a layer within our overarching segmentation strategy. It's not something that we use to lead our segmentation strategy, but something that we use to add to it. So always making sure that the content that we're sending to customers is relevant based on what they've told us is crucial. So if someone has told us that they are only interested in shopping one product category, if someone is interested in perfume, we're not necessarily going to send them an email on foundation if it's not relevant. We will also use advanced segmentation in our campaign strategy to get really tailored with the content we're sending. So something that we'll use on occasion are dynamic blocks within the email. So we might be sending everyone the same basic content, but then can include very specific blocks for certain users, again, based on that data that they've shared, to either feature a specific product that we think is more relevant or education that we think will, be more relevant to them, again, based on that information that they've given us. Some overlooked opportunities for gathering customer data through the customer journey, I think, would be the post-purchase flow. I think that is a great opportunity, even if it's not via email or SMS, to have a post-purchase survey that you send immediately after someone has placed an order to get more information that you can use to better cross-sell, upsell, make sure they have a great opportunity, with that first purchase, and use that data again to cross-sell, upsell, and make sure that they are a repeat customer, they build brand affinity, and we're able to really drive up LTV. We power personalization through the data we collect by really tailoring content to show dynamically or be shown to customers based on, certain segmentation based on, the answers that they've given us. So if they are interested in a specific product, if they are looking for a specific use case or education, making sure that we tailor that content and what they see based on those answers they provided. AI is able to take the data that we've collected and turn it into more effective messaging by really helping us analyze that data quickly. I think that, AI is a really great tool in helping drive our strategy forward. It helps us to not only conceptualize, the data we've been given and how we can better utilize it, but also really quickly tailor messaging based on data. We use Attentive AI to really help take our strategy to the next level, but makes the process much more efficient in terms of taking all of that, not only zero-party data, but data that we have around customer behavior, their shopping patterns, how they're engaging with email and SMS. One of my favorite tools, although small, I think is the AI around inclusion and exclusion. SMS, especially for some of our brands that have markets beyond the US where SMS can be a really expensive channel, it's really useful to be able to use that feature to get a better understanding of who is more likely to engage and convert, and really helps us with tailoring the audiences that we're going to send to really keep down cost, but still optimize ROI and performance. My biggest BFCM tip for brands is really taking advantage of universal content and prepping your flows accordingly in advance. There are a lot of really awesome features now around scheduling pop-ups, scheduling flows, and getting, that automated messaging set up in advance so that you can make sure that that content is really tailored to your customer. Your welcome flow includes your BFCM offer versus your welcome offer if it's applicable, and really optimizing those customer journeys so that they feel specific to the offer that you're running, be specific to the user if it makes sense, and there's tailored content that we can include there. And that really gives you the opportunity to make sure that flows are doing a lot of the heavy lifting and you can focus on campaigns. If there are last minute shifts or pivots, it's really easy to update across the board when you're taking advantage of that universal content. You've really prepped things in advance.